So this weekend, inside I knew I needed to go, but I was fighting against staying inside my comfort zone.
Oh, love of God, how rich and pure, how measureless and strong.
I definitely learnt that although comfort is something we desire, staying within those boundaries can sometimes limit growth.
You stop at nothing. Wild love, uncontainable, unexplainable.
This weekend I grew in my faith because I stepped out. I hated the thought of going, crying in front of my team, being vulnerable in front of strangers, and being seen as a hypocrite. But it was during last week's FCA I felt compelled to go along with my other teammates. This weekend I was told enough times till I wholeheartedly believed that I am weak. And it's in my weakness that I find the strength of Christ. I am broken but not alone. I don't deserve it, but I'm eternally loved. Although it's hard, especially for a competitor, to reveal their brokenness, it's vital because it allows people to see that we're built in hope and the mess we have will one day be made well. I realised my biggest fear when in small groups, or should I say I finally admitted my biggest fear to people. It cripples me inside, the thought that he doesn't know my name, that when I'm called home he won't recognise me as his good and faithful servant. I've dedicated my life to soccer and have been trying to chase a soccer career, a contract, a shot at the pros and become well known. When this weekend I was faced with the question, rather than being well known, isn't being worth knowing more important? And the answer is yes. I know I'll never be worthy of what he has given up for me, but I don't think that's an excuse to just not try. I recognise that I've been living as a lukewarm Christian. I'm bored of that bland routine. I had a fire in my soul this weekend and I felt re-energised. I admit I've spent too long being a thermometer, a Christian that reads and accepts the temperature of their faith. It dawned on me that when it comes to my faith, I desire to be a thermostat where I dictate and control the investment I put into it, because after all, faith with no action is just empty. The proof of my desire to know Christ will be shown in the renewed intensity of my pursuit for him. I had conned myself into thinking that it would be okay to leave living for Christ to when it gets easier, which I believe to be when I'm done going through the temptations of high school. I then said after college and ultimately decided I would be completely devoted when soccer was done. I had a husband, a career and a church I could call home. I kept saying to myself, I will give my all when I'm there at that stage of my life, when in actual fact there kept moving to another period of time in my life. But truth is, there always seems like a more desirable destination than here. But ultimately, we are always here, and as corny as it sounds, here is what we make it. And it's about time I started taking here more seriously, because in reality there is a destination I will never obtain. So this weekend I made the decision to live here for Christ in this moment, not so that I can be made much of, but so I can make much of him in my everyday, leaving everything in God's hands, so eventually I will see God's hands in everything that I do. I was lost, but now I am found. The Father runs to me leaving the 99. He embraces me and shows me my worth, not my worth in this world, but my worth in him. He accepts me, he loves me, and he will never forsake me. He forgives me endlessly for falling for the temptations of this world. He is not mad at me, he is mad about me. My inheritance has been paid for, not because I earned it or even deserve it, but because of his reckless love. He calls me by my name. I am chosen, predestined, adopted and redeemed by him to be his, and it's about time I stop doubting what he has declared. If I know my worth through him, what is his worth through me? He is the king of my heart and the source of my strength. For that reason, I'll join the angels in saying he is holy, holy, holy. So I leave you with this question: if today was the day, are you ready?